So what are the four decisions you need to make about where you study for your MBA? Well, the first of them is quality. And it used to be the case that the MBA was a badge that really opened up a whole world of opportunities to you, simply having those wonderful three letters MBA on your resume. However, with the proliferation of MBA courses around the world, the options have opened up, the variety of experiences have opened up, and the quality of those experiences have also opened up. So I would argue that there is now a flight to quality. So what you find is the best faculty are at the best business schools, the best students, and the best alumni networks, particularly importantly, are also at these best schools. So as much as you can, really do look not just for an MBA, but look for the highest quality institution that you can get for. The second of these decisions you need to make is about location. Now, if you're going to be studying full-time, then you have a decision here about going onto a campus or a non-campus environment. And linked to these, there's also a decision about, would you want to be in a city center or would you rather be out of town in a less urban environment? If you're going to be studying part-time and doing the executive MBA option, clearly the key factor there is going to be around convenience. Because you have a huge amount of things going on in your life, both professionally with your ongoing working role and also your personal life, and particularly those of you with family. So really do think about what's going to be the most convenient format and the most convenient location, because you will be spending some time, and hopefully I would certainly encourage you to pick an option where there is a large element of this that is face-to-face. Now, particularly since the pandemic, there are many more online virtual options, either for part of the course, doing some hybrid learning, doing some just simple online learning. So these things clearly make it more convenient, but do think very carefully about how you can, even if you're studying part-time, get as much time as you can physically there in the classroom, not just with faculty, but with your fellow students. So if the second question you need to consider is location, the third of them is the length of the MBA you do. And here there are really two main options. The first of them is the classic one-year condensed format. And then you have the classic American longer format, which used to be 2 years. Now, typically, it can be 1.5 years. You can have more flexibility in how you do it. So what you do is you do your core courses, and then you come back and either in the second year or in the latter part of your 1 year, you choose from a menu of elective courses. Now, there's always this pressure to get things done as quickly as you can. Maybe the analogy here is to rip off the Band-Aid as quick as you can, but I do want to make a case here for thinking deeply about whether simply going for the shorter option is necessarily the best option. Now, if you've ever seen that movie, the comedy, There's Something About Mary, there's a scene where the protagonist, played by Ben Stiller, called Ted, picks up a hitchhiker, played by an actor called Harlan Williams. And this guy's slightly unstable. And he says, I've got this great idea for a workout video. He says, there's that video, 8-minute abs. I've got a killer idea, 7-minute abs. And this is always very compelling. If it takes 8 minutes, then surely we can do it in 7 minutes. If we can do it in 7 minutes, surely we can do it in 6. And so doing an MBA and really condensing it is something that has a lot of appeal. And there are clearly some employers, if they're sponsoring for your MBA, some consulting firms want to get it done as quickly as they can, get that data downloaded, those frameworks, those theories, so then you can really get going with your career as quickly as you can. And that is a compelling option. But taking more time, even if it's just an extra 4, 6, 9 months on your MBA, to really make sure that you have time to digest what you're learning fully, and also really learn and spend more time interacting socially with your colleagues, as well as getting more involved more fully in the life of the university itself, and the life of the business school, be it student associations, clubs, activities. It may be social, they may be more work-oriented, but those are the things that can very often be very useful in terms of learning and building networks that will help you both in the short term potentially find your next role, and in the longer term give you those real useful networks. So the third of them is the length of it. And the final one is around cost. Now, cost is linked inevitably to both the issue of quality of the MBA and the location. So if you're in a more expensive city, like, for example, New York or London, then that will affect the cost to some degree. But I would argue that for almost every MBA student, cost of the studying itself and all of the related expenses should not be the defining issue that really drives your decision. Now, there are all these surveys and studies about the payback of an MBA. And if you are in banking, technology, or consulting, if that's your field, then the payback is pretty straightforward. And it's going to be within, typically, as studies would suggest, within 3 or 4 years. But if you are going to be studying for an MBA, focusing on the quality, location that's going to really work for you, and a length that's really going to allow you to get the most value to really help you with the long-term career ambitions that you have, those are the 3 criteria, more than cost, that would really drive it. Now, clearly, cost is important, but you need to look at this in terms of the lifetime value you're going to get from studying. And so focusing instead on really the other dimensions is what I'd really recommend to you to get the maximum value from your time on the MBA program.